I am conscious of time because I know how busy you are. So I have two questions to kind of finish up. What's the best piece of advice you've ever had?
That's a really tough question because I've had so much good advice through my life. But probably, I mean, probably one of the best ones because it panned out well for me was before I started my business, and I was speaking to a few people. And one of the best piece of advice I had was if you want to, if you're looking through going through the business, the business journey, I was told to find a co-founder because, and I remember when I was told that, because remember I was an arrogant young man, and I thought, why do I need a co-founder? And I remember a couple of people I was speaking to and said, trust me, like you will need a co-founder. And actually, having been through that journey, I think I couldn't have got better advice, and you need a whole podcast to explain why a co-founder is great to start a business with. But, suffice to say, there were, similarly to the point I made earlier, there were some really dark days where I think this business would have just folded in the space of, 48 hours if we didn't have each other to bounce off. So probably one of the best pieces of advice I got. And like I said, it was counterintuitive to me because I'm kind of a bit of a lone wolf. I just like to go on by myself and do my own thing. And I think that advice I got, which was if you're going to start a business, do it with a co-founder, was probably the best advice I got.
I will save the question for another podcast then because I chose to do it myself, but it's because I'm a pain in the arse and I know exactly what I want. I'm genuinely, but I'm in the right way, really interested because it's that kind of thing for where I am now. I might be fine as I am, but actually, if you want to create the next $1 billion startup, you might need a team. So
Exactly.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And last but not least, if you were to give advice to your younger self, and it could be you at school, it could be you at 15, 16 when you started to play with computers, or even then when you come to actually go to university, etc. If you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Uh, I think one of the best piece of advice I'd give to my younger self is um, certainly reading and books. Books. Funny, when I was really young, books were something I was obsessed with. And then when I got older, in the last kind of 6 or 7 years, books have been something I've come back to. And it's interesting. You said books were some of your best mentors. I probably regret not reading as much books all the way from after university because you can imagine as a young entrepreneur when I was founding a business and I was in the life of work, and as a young parent, I just I always found excuses for not reading books. I was kind of I've got other things to do. I've got a job. I've got a family. I've got a kid, etc. And actually, I regret that. So I think that as if I, when I was if I was back to 15 or 16, I'd be like, read a book every week at least, or read something every week, because I think all the growth and advancement I've seen in the last 10 years, I probably missed out in my 20s because I was too busy doing other things.